Welcome back, West Texas. I'm Damian Bartonic, and you know what time it is. Time to talk all things sports, baby. We start up in the Key City as the Abilene Christian Wildcats unfortunately had a tough go over the weekend as both the men's and women's teams dropped their in-conference games. The women's squad dropped the Sugar Rush Showdown by a final score of 64-63 in double overtime with that shot right there. It was their first loss since November 21st. And as for the men's side of things, they fell by a final of 64-53, and both coaches obviously weren't happy with the result, yet their mentalities after the game were pretty similar. There's plenty of basketball to be played.
Saturday's loss, it was pretty devastating. Play for 50 minutes and lose by 1 point at home. There's probably 50 possessions you'd like to get back, a turnover here or missed layup or missed three-pointer here, but all fixable errors. I think our players have responded really well. They were, super disappointed after the game, obviously. But we've got 15 conference games left, so perspective, it was one game.
Conference game, it was back and forth until one little run in the second half. They're obviously really good. And they played a tough schedule like all of our teams in the league. We all have similar records in non-con, and it's interesting. Where Julie was saying, man, all the road teams won pretty much on the women's side. Nobody won on the road. There's not one team. Every single home team won the other day, which is what we tell our guys all the time. You have to steal some on the road. You have to hold court at home, and so it's a positive thing to know that we didn't lose any ground. I think when somebody wins a road game, you feel like they gained a little ground, That's how this league has been the last few years. Home teams win and road teams lose. And so we have to kind of try to figure out how to win some of those since we're starting off with 3 in a row on the road.
Let's talk some NFL football now, starting with some free agent news that may have shocked some of you Cowboys fans. The NFL Network reported that the Los Angeles Chargers are planning to sign Ezekiel Elliott to their practice squad pending a physical. Last week, Elliott requested to be let go, and the Cowboys granted it. The former Cowboys running back reportedly is signing with the Chargers practice squad, and Dallas released Elliott last month so that he could sign with a playoff team. The Chargers play the Texans on Saturday in the wild card round of the playoffs. And speaking of those Houston Texans, they're prepping for the biggest game of their season. Obviously, it's playoffs. It's a matchup that Bert and I discussed last week as one to keep an eye on. The Chargers and first-year head coach Jim Harbaugh have been white hot this year, and Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans is looking forward to the matchup and says Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert is a player to watch.
Really well-coached football team. You can see Coach Harbaugh's imprint on the football team instantly, just how sound they are in all three phases. Very sound football team. They can run. They're very, very balanced offensively, run the ball well, and of course, Justin Herbert is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. We have our hands full, as should be, in a playoff matchup, but we're excited to go against a really good football team.
You just saw him smile when he mentioned Justin Herbert, man. Justin Herbert is special. But with that said, that's Sports at 6. Keep it here for a little bit more news right after the break.